Hey guys, so I just wanted to give another quick update about a lesson plan I did. So this week I was teaching the 5th grade the concepts of usually, often, and sometimes, and to reinforce that I created a card game. So basically, I organized the class into teams of 4, and there was 2 people on the team and another 2 people on the team, and basically this was to help people who struggled a little bit more with English. Maybe they weren't as good in English and stuff like that. So it was, as a team, it pushes them more to participate in the game. So basically with these cards, I had 2 kinds of cards. There were simple kinds of cards like home, travel, post office, take, really simple words, television, so words they already know and that they could probably turn into a sentence. And there were also cards that say usually, sometimes, and often, which is our keyword cards. So basically, to play the game, they would put these stack of cards in the table, and then the first person would flip over a card. Now this card says library, so all I needed to do, since I drew the card library, was make a sentence using library. So I go to the library after school. So I made a sentence, and if my opponent doesn't say anything, I get to keep this card. But if my opponent wants to steal the card, they have to make a sentence using the word library and using the word usually, often, or sometimes. So one of these words they have to use with the word library. So I usually go to the library after school. And if I don't say anything, they get to steal my card. But if I want to keep my card, I also have to make a sentence using library, using usually, often, or sometimes. So I sometimes go to the library on Saturday. So right now, my opponent has made a sentence using usually, often, and sometimes, and I've also made a sentence using usually, often, and sometimes. So since we've both done it, in order to duel for the card, we do kai-bai-bo, or rock, paper, scissors. And the winner of rock, paper, scissors gets the card. So if I win, I get to keep the card. If he wins, he gets to keep the card. So I did this because it the competitiveness will push other students to use the words in sentences, and they will want to steal each other's cards, and so it produces more and more sentences. There are also cards, like I told you, that say usually, sometimes, and often. So basically, if these are on the top of the deck and I flip it over and it's one of the keywords, I put it on the center desk, and all the students have to touch their ears. And when they count to 3, the first person who slaps their hand on the card first gets to make the sentence using the word. So basically I did this because this and the kai-bai-bo thing, because students tend to like games that are a little bit more physical, they move around, they get to react a lot, so they really like the whole slapping thing. So if I slapped my hand first and I got the card often, I have to make a sentence using the word often. So I go to the library often. Well, you don't have to use the word library, so I go home after school often, or something, And if I can make the sentence, I automatically get the card. There's no stealing or anything. So basically the competitiveness comes from the slapping part. But if I slap first, I get the card, but I can't make the sentence. So often I have no idea, I can't make the sentence. But my opponent can make the sentence. He can take the card. So basically it kind of pushes the students to really try to dig in their brains to make a sentence using this word because they want to keep the card. So basically each card has different points. So all the usually, often, sometimes cards are all worth 3 points, and then the simple words like home or like travel are worth 1 point. So the really simple words are worth 1 point, but the keywords are worth 3 points. So this pushes the competitiveness a little bit more. The student with the most card/points wins at the end of the game. My one tip for using this game, you can alter it for any type of keywords you might be teaching your students and changing the vocabulary based on the level that your students are at. So you can apply this game to any lesson plan or any grade level, but one key thing I would recommend is, if you're going to make these cards, go through the trouble of cutting them all up and laminating them, because if you don't laminate them, they will definitely not last you all the classes, because these students have been slapping them down and like tugging at these cards, fighting over them, so they will definitely tear if you do not laminate them, so I highly recommend laminating them. making them. So I hope you can use this lesson plan for one of your own classes, but have fun with it. Bye!